from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Friday, May 20th, 2016. I'm Ann Gownley. West Hazleton police are investigating a fight that started at 4th and Oak Streets and ended at 4th and Maple Streets with shots fired last night. That's just a few blocks from the boundary line with the city of Hazleton. Police found blood on the scene as well as shell casings, but they found no victim. Witnesses reported hearing yelling and screaming and a number of gunshots. Police collected evidence last night on scene. They're also looking for surveillance video. Earlier today, Hazleton City Police were summoned to 720 North Manhattan Court on a report that narcotics were found in an abandoned apartment. The apartment was rented by Ghazi Faraji, who was arrested by Hazleton police on May 5th for numerous drug violations. Hazleton narcotics detectives found a quantity of crack cocaine, a large amount of packaging materials, cutting agents, and cardboard boxes used to store bags of heroin. Upon further search, detectives found 3 handguns concealed underneath the floorboards in a crawl space. The firearms were stolen out of McAdoo, Sugarloaf, and Schuylkill Haven. The investigation is still ongoing. On Wednesday around 8:30 p.m., Shenandoah Borough Police were called to 23 South Chestnut Street for a heroin overdose. Upon entering, police found a female overdosed on heroin and was barely alive. The Shenandoah Community Ambulance arrived on scene and gave the victim multiple doses of Narcan, saving her life. Police discovered Jason Breadbenner injected the female with the heroin. Breadbenner was taken into custody where police found several packets of heroin on his person. Shenandoah police charged Breadbenner with 1 count each of attempted murder by delivery of drugs, aggravated assault, simple assault, recklessly endangering another person, and similar charges. Breadbenner was arraigned by Judge Anthony Kilker, and bail was set at $100,000 straight cash bail. Tonight, he is now behind bars at the Schuylkill County Prison. A Hazleton man was arrested by West Hazleton police on rape charges. 20-year-old Jose Enrique Mejia Rosario was charged along with the rape charge of corruption of minors and simple assault. Police say the incident took place on May 17th in a home in West Hazleton. Further information has not been released by police. He was arraigned by Magisterial District Judge James Dixon, is now behind bars at the Luzerne County Prison, unable to post his $100,000 straight cash bail. A fire broke out at a home in Schuylkill County shortly after 12:30 this afternoon. Firefighters were called to 9 3rd Street in Clares for a report of heavy smoke coming from the residence. When crews from McAdoo arrived, they immediately put a call out to other units, alerting them of the working structure fire.
When I arrived here, I had heavy fire in the kitchen working its way through the living room, and there was only really 2 of us on the ladder truck at the time. So we stretched 1 hand line to the front door and we made an aggressive interior attack to try and hold it. We backed out once other guys arrived on scene, and that's when I took over command.
Crews from Schuylkill and Luzerne County arrived on scene to assist in the blaze.
Right away we called for second alarm once Chief 4907 Gary Perna Sr. arrived on scene and asked me if I wanted to strike a second alarm, which brought 3 additional engines and 2 trucks to the scene, aerial apparatus, due to manpower. I mean, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, day shift people are at work, second shift people are getting ready to go to work. So manpower was light, but that's why we called. I'd rather have more people and not need them than not have them and need more people.
A mother, her child, and 2 dogs made it out of the residence safely. They were assisted by the American Red Cross. According to Bowman, there was severe damage to the first floor of 9 3rd Street. The fire marshal was contacted, and the cause of that fire is currently under investigation. A fire damaged 2 homes early this morning in Ashland. Fire crews were called to 421 West Center Street shortly after 7 a.m. They found a blaze coming from the back of the residence, which then spread to 419 West Center Street. Firefighters from Ashland and the surrounding areas contained the fire. 5 people from both of the homes have been displaced. There were no reports of any injuries, and the cause of that fire is also still under investigation in Ashland. A church in McAdoo that was supposed to be shut down is now staying open. WYLN's Abby Piskel has more on this story from McAdoo.
Christ Reformed United Church of Christ, the only Protestant church in McAdoo, is staying open. After threats of having to close due to lack of funds, the church raised enough money to keep its doors open. President of Christ Reformed UCC, Gary Potter, spoke with us about the church's funds.
Finances were running low at the end of 2015, and we had to ask for our pastor's resignation. We weren't going to be able to afford his salary much past Easter.
A GoFundMe account was created with the goal of $10,000. Due to the generosity of church and non-church members and the donation from Heller's Gas in Bloomsburg with their donation of $7,000, the church was able to meet their goal. Reaching this goal will allow the church to hire a pastor and take care of church services. Branch manager of the Bloomsburg Heller's Gas Incorporated store told us why he was happy to help the church.
I asked our owner, Mr. Paul Gardner, who generously decided to kind of bridge the gap for them to make it to their goal of $10,000. So we were proud to donate the $7,000.
Potter says that he expects church membership to increase now that it is staying open.
Well, years ago we had 150, and we're down to about 60 to 75 right now. But we expect that to increase. People know that we're not going to be closing. We are going to be staying open for this year, the next year, and many years to come. So.
This coming August, the church will be celebrating its 120th anniversary with many more years to come. In McAdoo, for Wyln News, I'm Abby Piskel.
Thank you, Abby. Schuylkill County Commissioners reached agreement to house prisoners at the Center County Correctional Facility in Bellefonte. The State Department of Corrections, the county to no longer take any prisoners sentenced between 6 months to 5 years because its population was too high. DOC wants it to be at or below its approved capacity of 277. The per diem rate is $65 a day per inmate with Center County. 10 women have already been transferred there. Commissioners Chairman George Halkovich said the prison board is also discussing housing agreements with Columbia and Berks counties. Last night, the 124th Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce's annual dinner and business expo was held at Sand Springs Country Club in Drums. And the winner of the 2016 Athena Award goes to Jane Danish, the director of the community relations for the Lehigh Valley Health Network. Danish received this prestigious award last night during the Greater Hazleton Chamber of Commerce's annual dinner. The Athena Award is presented each year to a Hazleton area businesswoman for outstanding professional achievement.
Oh, I've just been very honored and very humbled to receive this award. The Athena Award is one that encourages wisdom and encourages leadership. And we have a group here in Hazleton of almost 30 professional women who are part of this elite group of Athena Award winners.
Earl Berger of Berger's Family Dealerships has been sponsoring this award for the past 30 years, and Berger says that they are honored to do so.
There's been a lot of great women in the Hazleton area that have received it, and hopefully we can keep doing it in the next years to come. Jane is a great candidate, and she really deserves it, and we're glad that we'll be able to be part of presenting the award to her. It's not only a local award, it's an international award. The Athena is all over the country and in other countries. And it's a very prestigious award, and Jane really deserves it, and we're glad to be part of it.
Danish, who has held several positions in administration, marketing, and community relations, has a certain way of doing things, setting her apart from other business leaders in the community.
I tend to, when hiring someone, I like to hire someone who is young, who's out of school, who's willing to learn, who's motivated. And over my supervisory experiences, I've done that with about 3 of my employees. They've come from jobs that they did not like, or they're just coming out of school. And what I like to do is I like to give them what they need, the skills that they need to move ahead. I help them to make the decisions that they need to get their job done.
Danish joins a long list of other distinguished women who have won the Athena Award in the past. President of the Chamber, Mary Malone, said with 618 members, they are excited to reach the 124th year of service to the community by bringing these businesses together. 35 businesses in the area participated in the Business Expo before the awards dinner, including Wyln, who was there to promote the new unmanned aircrafts, which will be used for special events, news stories, and commercial use.
The annual meeting, it really kind of focuses on the year of the chamber, our board of directors, and we have a brand new board chair starting a 2-year term tonight. Donna Barna, the president of Billing and Helms, will be taking over from Alan Wagner of Wagner and John.
The Greater Hazelton Chamber of Commerce hopes to continue this event for another 124 years. It's time now for a first look at our forecast. The weekend is upon us, and hopefully all we have is sunshine in our forecast, but could there be any rain? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is in the Weather Center with the details. Joe?
Well, it's looking like there is going to be some rain as we head into this upcoming weekend, some showers, but what about temperature-wise? Is it going to be cool, gloomy, and damp, or is it going to be damp and relatively warm? I'll explain the weather details coming up in a few.
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, a look at how students at Penn State Hazelton are helping out the younger generation at the Hazelton One Community Center. More news, weather, and sports is coming your way only on WYLN. Stay tuned.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, weather with meteorologist Joe Garbacik, and sports with Eric DeBerardinis.
The LSC Wiltsey Performing Arts Center in Hazelton presents A Musical Salute to All Who Serve on Saturday, June 11th. The show features the outstanding talent of the Hazelton Philharmonic Orchestra under the direction of Robert Lagana, as well as featured soloists. Presentations by Congressman Lou Barletta, Pennsylvania State Representative Tara Toohill, and Hazelton Mayor Jeff Cassett. The show will be narrated by Sergeant Eric Olson, host of the WYLN TV show Warrior Summit Outdoors. Tickets are $10 for adults and $5 for children. A Musical Salute to All Who Serve, Saturday, June 11th at 7 p.m.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
You deserve to look your best.
Students from a local after-school program worked with their college mentors for a community science night. Our Julie Stefanovich has the details.
The Hazelton One Community Center teamed up with students from Penn State to host the first annual Community Science Night. It is part of the third annual Penn State Maymester program. The event showcased projects which were done by the HIP after-school students. Exhibits included everything from painting with photography to an engineering project called HIP City. We spoke with Andrea Kolb, who is a PhD candidate from Penn State.
We have pre-service teachers from the College of Education from University Park who come and live and sort of become part of the community here in Hazelton for 2 full weeks. They spend time during the day working in the Hazelton Area School District, being mentored by classroom teachers, and then they come here after school and are designing these STEM projects and teaching in the After School Scholars Program.
8 pre-service teachers from the university mentor around 80 kindergarten through 8th grade students throughout the Hazelton Area School District. The children had the opportunity to engage in hands-on educational projects.
What I think happens here is that the kids get really excited about learning. And so for us to see that excitement and that engagement that we're able to do because we have hands-on projects, we have really small class sizes, and we've got a number of teachers and volunteers, so our student-staff ratio is relatively small.
The Penn State students create a special educational bond with the HIP after-school scholars.
Thing that the community center does really well is engage parents, and so we have parents as our partners. A lot of the parents of our after-school students are also involved in our parent education programs, whether they are our students or teachers. In our adult ESL, we have a Rosetta Stone program, we have GED classes, so we really look at education holistically, where we have the students, we connect with the teachers the best that we can, and we hope to continue to build that partnership.
The PSU program reopens in September and is available to students who are pursuing a certification in education or to anyone wishing to take it as an elective. You can also contact Andrea Kolb at 570-861-8081 if you are interested in learning more about the HIP After School Scholars Program. In Hazleton, for WYLN News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric, Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Time to bring the action in Pocono. Fire them up. Here we go. No attack, no chance. Watch the madness of this. Oh, it's final. Look at that. There's something going on over there. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We earned this one. Off the deck. Pocono sweep, buddy.
Well, it continues to be very nice outside. Lots of sunshine, a few clouds here and there, but temperature-wise, pretty nice now with the sunshine, and we don't have to worry about any precipitation just yet across our area. But as we go into this upcoming weekend, unfortunately, things are going to change, especially going into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the graphic for the day, and you know, temperature-wise, pretty nice. You get the sunshine out this time of year and dry conditions. That really allows those temperatures to go up quite a bit. In fact, we continue to remain in the 70s. It does feel very good when you happen to be walking outside. Pressure on the high side, and those winds about 5 to occasionally up to 10 miles per hour. So how did we do temperature-wise today? Well, the high for the day, well, it did get up into the 70s, 74, and woke up to an early morning low, I should say, of 46. Notice the wind gusts about 17 miles per hour, but overall, things weren't too bad across our area today. How about throughout the state of Pennsylvania? 73, Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport. 76 degrees in Allentown, and we got 75 in Williamsport, 69 in State College, and even 60s and lower 70s out there in western Pennsylvania. Like I said, the winds really not too much of a factor across our area, generally averaging anywhere between 5 to occasionally up to 10 miles per hour. Extended forecast looking like this, and what we can expect going into the weekend tomorrow, it looks like we'll have to deal with some showers across our area. And with the showers, a lot of clouds around. It's going to keep temperatures down a bit, only in the mid to upper 50s. A few more showers for Sunday, lower 60s. Maybe a passing shower from Monday, upper 60s. And then the rest of the week going into next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, gradual warming trend, 70s to near 80 degrees, and maybe a chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Stick around. We'll continue to have a lot more for you coming up after the break.
If you're not in danger and you see a crime, text 274-6. 637-274, 637-274, 637. Send your tip, take them off the street. Text 274, 637. Send your tip, take them off the street. No one will know your identity.
Now, helping to solve or prevent a crime is just a text away. Text my tips to the word crimes and let the law help you.
Go Hog Wild for Iron Pigs Baseball. Wyln is televising the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs live. America's favorite pastime on your local network, Wyln TV 35. See the stars of tomorrow at Coca-Cola Park. Don't miss any of the games here on Wyln TV 35. Visit WYLNTV.com for a complete Iron Pigs schedule. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs on Wyln, your home for live sports.
The Gunderson Rehabilitation Center provided its yearly free stroke screenings yesterday at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. WYLN News intern Maria Cinti has more on what happened and how the screenings have helped put one Hazel Township resident's mind at ease.
It's just a wonderful opportunity. I think more and more people should take advantage of it. It's no charge. What could be better than that?
Hazel Township resident Marion Burchin and her husband have taken advantage of the Gunderson Rehabilitation Center's free day of stroke screenings for the past 5 years. She said they started going because of her husband's family history of strokes and to become more aware of their own health status.
Each time we've come down, we've had good reports, and it's very helpful. It's free of charge. They're very nice. It's a very, very easy, quick screening. And afterwards, you get to talk to a doctor, and then you're on your way until the next year.
About 100 people lined up at the Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton to get their stroke screening at the rehab center on the 6th floor. Now, many people that came either have a family history of strokes or are suffering from stroke symptoms themselves. According to the National Stroke Association, about 800,000 Americans experience a stroke each year, with at least 1/4 of them being people who have had one in the past. Gunderson Rehab Unit Director Dr. Jeffrey Perkins says there is a questionnaire at the rehab center that determines whether people are at risk of having a stroke.
It's family history of stroke, heart disease, cholesterol elevation, heart surgery, and diabetes, and also personal history is asked as well. And they compare between the family and their own personal history.
Some stroke symptoms include chest pain, elevated blood sugar, and irregular heartbeats. Perkins says the free tests are aimed to trigger those symptoms, including blood pressure checks, cholesterol checks, and carotid ultrasound checks. Perkins says patients should go to the rehab center within the first 2 hours of their stroke symptoms in order to detect the problem and alleviate their symptoms.
If they can monitor the blood pressure and they could figure out from diagnostic testing such as a CAT scan or an MRI, they can see if there is a bleed or not, or if there's not a bleed, they can start them on the IV TPA medication, which will help prevent and actually cure the symptoms drastically.
Burchin says more people should take advantage of the free day of screenings each year because it's a quick way to detect potential health problems. I'm Maria Cinti, WYLN News.
Thank you, Maria. Coming up next, Eric DeBaradinas is in with sports here on WYLN. Plus, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik will have one final look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicap accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
During March Madness, the 5-12 matchup is a dangerous one for upsets. Crestwood Baseball, the favorite for the opening round of the District 2 AAA playoffs, but Coughlin, better than their seed indicates. A beautiful day for baseball and playoff baseball in Mountaintop. First inning, the Crusaders' leadoff hitter Eric Christian gets aboard, ripping that one to right, but he stays there. We go to the bottom of the first. Chase Nowak has had some success on the mound this season. Here he gets bailed out by his catcher. The gun down to second, and the Crusaders out of that jam. We go to the second inning now, and that one's gotta hurt. Coughlin puts a couple runners on base, but again, they can't convert into runs. Right now, the score is Crestwood up 1-0. In the fifth inning, we'll have full highlights and an update on the final score. Later, the winner will advance to the quarterfinals where they will take on the winner of Tunkhannock and Berwick. Call this the road to PNC Field, where championships are held on Memorial Day. 3A and 2A baseball, bigger brackets, and thus in action today before everyone else starts. We check on the scoreboards. AAA, the only final to this point, is Pittston getting by Lake Lehman 6-1. They will face top-seeded Valley View in the quarterfinals next week. No score in that Berwick-Tunkhannock game at the moment. We'll have highlights from that one later. While Scranton Prep and Dallas are also locked up. They're at 2 apiece right now. And in AA, no report yet on Hanover GAR. Nanticoke leading Lakeland 3-0, and Northwest also up 3-0 on Mountain View. Highlights also from that one tonight on Late Edition Sports, and we'll have plenty of district highlights throughout all of next week. Louisville is where bats are made, but through 3 games of the bat series against the Rail Riders, the hitting has been very limited. That changed on the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre end on Thursday. First inning, no time wasted. Chris Parmley, grand slam. That dude can't believe it. Stares down the baseball, but it's still gone. They score 5 in the frame. And then in the 4th inning, Nick Swisher, see ya. His 4th homer on the year. We move to the top of the 5th, and Parmley bombs away yet again. Jesse Winker with a ton of baseball admiring on the night. The Rail Riders cruise 9-1. First place Scranton-Wilkes-Barre in Indianapolis tonight to start a 3-game set. And a thriller last night on WYLN. Iron Pigs hosting the Mud Hens. Pick it up in the 9th. Lehigh Valley up 3-1. Has 2 outs and about to pick up the win. Dixon Machado, other ideas. 2 extras, we go. Bottom 12, Pigs on the ropes down 2, but Carlos Alonso, big time. He sends 2 in, and we're even again. This time at 5. So bottom of the 15th inning, tied at 7. Andrew Knapp wants to go to bed. It's over off the top of the left field wall. Walk-off, 8-7, Iron Pigs win. They're back home with Toledo tonight. First pitch at 7, which you can watch right here on WYLN. The baby penguin season is over, but the big penguins still alive and well, so that means some of Wilkes-Barre Scranton's finest can't go golfing or fishing quite yet. It's a group they call the Black Aces, and this year it consists of 8 baby pens that were promoted to Pittsburgh for the remainder of their Stanley Cup playoff run. The group includes defenseman Steve Oleski and Tim Erickson, centers Dominic Simone and Jean-Sebastian D, right wingers Josh Archibald and Daniel Sprong, left winger Cale Mullerat, and goalie Tristan Jari. They'll offer depth and also get a taste of playoff hockey at the biggest stage. Game 4 for the Penguins against the Lightning, set for 8 o'clock tonight. Stay tuned. Coming up, Joe Garbacik is in with a final look at the forecast.
1 back to 2, 1 back. Both lanes coming to you. Fans here in Pocono are screaming. They're jumping up and down. There it is, one baby. Donuts right now.
Alrighty, well, for the weekend, unfortunately, we have to deal with some showers around for our Saturday and for our Sunday, and that itself will keep those temperatures down quite a bit. But there's some light at the end of this rainbow, or I should say tunnel, right? Tunnel, rainbow?
Tunnel,
okay, yeah. It's all the same. 60s, and then we're up into the 70s Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In fact, we're going to be getting close to 80 degrees, so that's pretty good because it's holiday weekend next weekend already.
I know.
Memorial Day.
Let's get the rain out of the way. I guess that's the way we should look at it. But it could be anything. It could be the light at anything you want. Anything you want.
Oh, very good. I'm glad to hear that.
It is. It's the weekend. It doesn't matter. But I have to tell you, like I said before, the rain, get it over with now, because I'm sure there's plenty of outdoor activities. And I know we have all the parades and all the honoring that we will be doing for all of our veterans coming up. So